There is a secret behind what top scorers do when they are studying for the SAT and the ACT, and it has nothing to do with reading comprehension or quadratics or extra studying. It has to do with understanding the structure of the exam and thinking like a test maker and not a test taker when you are working towards that score that you need, either to get into your dream college or to get your scholarship or just to get that concordant score so you can graduate high school. Good test takers analyze the structure of the exam, and the test makers literally give it away. They have a document that outlines everything that's on the exam and the structure of the exam so that you can study it and get better. But most people don't even look at these documents. I'm going to show you today how to access them, how to use them, and how to think like a test maker, be more strategic, and get the score you need on your SAT, ACT, or any exam. My name's Kathleen Jasper. I analyze tests for a living. Let's get started. So one of the things you can do to become more familiar with the test and understand the structure so that you can think like a test maker is to analyze the test specifications for these exams. Now, big testing companies always publish a giant document. It's usually on their website somewhere that is hard to find, and it lays out everything on the exam. And I'm not saying you should read this entire document because they are very lengthy. They're called technical documents. They're called test specifications, blueprints, and it is very lengthy, but you can throw it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to summarize it for you so that you can be better equipped to score high on these exams. And once you understand the test structure, you are going to be familiar with so much more and work through the test with ease so that you can free up some of that cognitive endurance to go towards scoring higher on the exam. So let me show you what I mean when I'm talking about test specifications and why they are important. So to access these documents that will help you become a better test taker for these exams is just by going to Google and Googling SAT test specifications. You're looking for the specifics of the exam. And you can see here, it's got this suite of assessments specifications overview. It's usually in a PDF document. When you download this document, you'll see that it is 20 pages. It's huge. I'm zoomed in a lot so you can see it, but you can see it's a lot. And you don't want to read this entire thing. I get it. I don't want to read it either. So what I would do is talk to ChatGPT and say, hey, ChatGPT, I'm trying to score higher. Can you break down the structure of the exam and anything important I need to know as a test taker to understand this test and give me an advantage to get better? So that's what I did. So what I would do is I would upload these digital test specifications into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to help you understand them from a test taker perspective. So let's go ahead and use this dictate tool. I don't even have to type. So let's hit this little dictate tool, this microphone tool, so we can talk to ChatGPT and ask it to help us understand these test specifications. Hey, ChatGPT, I have attached the digital SAT test specifications to this chat. I am trying to increase my SAT score to a 1400, and I know that understanding the structure of the exam is really going to help. Can you please summarize this document so that I understand it better as a test taker and can use some of that information to score higher on the exam? Please leave out any unnecessary information and help me summarize this as a junior in high school trying to increase my score on the SAT. Thanks. Okay, so we have done that. It's going to take a second to just translate. There we go. And I'm going to send that off. Okay, as you can see here, it broke things down very well for me. You can see that it broke down the format based on what was in the test specifications. It also talked about what adaptive means, basically that the test sort of understands when you are answering things correctly and then will feed you more difficult questions, which actually is a good thing because you get to your score quicker than you would on paper pencil test. And then it breaks down each section. You have a reading and writing section. It talks about the structure. And then it's got these content domains. Content domains are super important when you are talking about exams. You can see that 28% of the reading and writing exam is all about craft and structure. So this is going to be word use, which is vocabulary, purpose, text comparison. So text 1 and text 2, you know how they have the double passages. That's all craft and structure. Understanding that is going to help you be more strategic. You're not going to be thrown for a loop when you see a question. You're going to know exactly, oh, this is a craft and structure question. Information and ideas, this is the same thing. Evidence, inferences. Then they have your English conventions, your grammar, and then expression of ideas. Now, do we have to, dig deep and memorize this document? No, but it does help to understand that there are four main content domains and that you are going to get 28% of your questions from this one, 26, 26, and 20. That is helpful when you're trying to bump your score from like a 1300 to a 1400 or a 1500. These tiny little tweaks in understanding the structure is really going to push you above where you want to be. And then the math section as well. We've got the calculators allowed, and there's a built-in graphing calculator here. You can see that we have four content domains here. And the majority of the test you can see is algebra and advanced math. When we went back to the content domains for reading and writing, you can see that these are about 25, 25. They're pretty evenly distributed. When we get to math, we see that there's a bigger distribution in algebra and advanced math, and not as many questions from solving data analysis, problem solving and data analysis, and then geometry and trig. So that kind of helps us understand what we're going to be hit with when we go in to take the exam. And then it gives me some tools and things like that and some prepping information. And then it breaks down the scoring and stuff like that. And it may give you some other information. But notice that understanding the structure helps you be prepared for the types of questions you are going to see. And that's really, really important. So don't go into a test blind. Make sure you look at the test specifications and understand those content domains, because then you will be ready for what SAT is going to be giving you on test day. One thing is for sure, it is not a secretive process. Big testing companies always have to give you a test specification. If there is this giant test at the end of your school year, perhaps you're taking a state test at the end of the year as a high schooler, or the SAT, ACT, GRE, any big exam given by a big testing company has a test spec. So download it, have a look at it, throw it into ChatGPT if you don't feel like reading it and just want to get the gist of the structure so that you can get better at being strategic. Do that and give yourself a few extra points because you understand the structure of the exam. Think like a test maker, not a test taker. Be prepared by reading the test maker's documents for the exam. Most people ignore them, but you want to achieve. So you're going to download them and at least summarize them. Let me show you where to get more resources for the SAT, ACT, or any test you're taking. Just head over to kmjlearning.com. Under free prep, you can see that we have a lot of downloads and weekly sessions, live sessions that you can have a look at. These are really good for really any exam. There's some math problems in there, reading and writing problems. Check those out. Of course, we are currently offering an SAT online course that is packed full of so much information. It also has a full Desmos calculator tutorial in it as well to help you score higher. So check that out. I will always upload free stuff to this YouTube channel and our TikTok, KMJ Learning. So make sure you check us out there and let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and it would be my pleasure to film something for you so that we can clear that up. All right. Have a great day.